49 Menschen haben das Leben anderer Menschen erhellt und sie sind nicht mehr da. Wir wollen ihre Namen hören. Ryan.
I'm not just going to read their names because they were not just names. They were people with lives, with dreams, who loved and were loved. Brenda Lee Marquez McCool. She was a mother of 11, beat cancer twice, and often went dancing at Pulse with her gay son. Her son survived the shooting. She was 49. Gilberto Ramon Silva Menendez. He studied healthcare management. His family says he was the light and life of all family gatherings. He was 25. Kimberly KJ Morris moved from Hawaii to Florida just a few months ago. She was a bouncer at Pulse nightclub, and she was known for her smile that could light up a room. Akira Monet Murray. She recently graduated from high school. She was a top student and athlete and was going to play basketball at Mercyhurst College. She was only 18. Luis Omar Ocasio-Capo. He was a dancer and barista who dreamt of becoming a performer on the big stage. Geraldo A. Ortiz Jimenez, known as Drake Ortiz by his closest friends, was a law student. Eric Ivan Ortiz Rivera, a friend says he was always willing to help everybody and sacrificed a lot for his family. He had been married to his husband for about a year. He was 36. Joel Rayon Paniagua loved dancing and is remembered as humble and cheerful. He was 32. Jean Carlos Mendez Perez. He was a perfume salesman who hit the gym almost every day. His husband Daniel was also killed in the shooting. He was 35. Enrique L. Rios Jr. Friends say he was a cool and funny dude who would tell people, "Don't let the world hold you back from your dreams." He was 25. Gene C. Nieves Rodriguez was a manager at McDonald's. His friends describe him as a caring, loving guy, just like a big teddy bear. Xavier Emmanuel Serrano Rosado. He was Alucard's best friend, a dancer who worked as an entertainer, and he was a loving father to a young son. He was 35. Christopher Joseph Sanfelice worked at a bank and was said to be the most positive guy around. Leroy Valentin Fernandez. He was a leasing agent and a vibrant performer who loved Beyonce, Adele, and Jennifer Lopez. His coworker says he sang Adele at the office until they couldn't take it anymore. He was 25. Mercedes Marisol Flores. Her father says she was a happy girl with so many dreams. She was 26. Peter O. Gonzalez Cruz. He worked at a UPS store. He memorized all of the regular customers' names and could make anyone smile, his friends said. He was 22. Juan Ramon Guerrero. He just came out to his family this year because he was afraid that they wouldn't accept him, but they did. They embraced him and his boyfriend Drew, who also died that night. They wanted to get married. Their parents are planning a joint funeral. He was 22. Paul Terrell Henry had 2 children and was planning to return to college. He loved dancing and playing pool. He was 41. Frank Hernandez worked at a Calvin Klein store and had "Love Has No Gender" tattooed on his arm. He taught his sisters how to walk in heels and how to do their makeup. He was 27. Miguel Angel Honorado managed a Mexican restaurant. A colleague says he was a good boss and a good friend. Javier Jorge Reyes was a supervisor at Gucci. Friends say he was always positive, humble, and a lovely friend. He was 40. Jason Benjamin Josaphat. He was a student who loved computers, athletics, and photography. A faculty member called him a sweet kid with a bright future. He was 19. Eddie Jamaldre Justice. His mom remembers him as someone who loved to make people laugh. He was trapped in the bathroom by the gunman. He was able to text his mother that he loved her. He was 30. Anthony Luis Laureano Disla. He was a beautiful drag queen named Alanis Laurel and a talented dancer. He was 25. Christopher Andrew Lee Nonan, known as Drew, was Juan Guerrero's boyfriend. He won a humanitarian award in high school for forming the Gay-Straight Alliance. His mother says that she was very proud of him. He was 32. Alejandro Barrios Martinez, his family described him as a very positive person, and he was able to contact them before he died. Stanley Almodovar III, he was a pharmacy technician. The last video he posted on social media was of him laughing and singing on the way to Pulse nightclub. Friends say that he had a bubbly, down-to-earth personality. He was 23. Amanda Alviar was a nursing student who was at the club with her friend Mercedes, who also died in the shooting. She was 25. Oscar A. Aracena Montero had just returned from a trip to Niagara Falls with his partner Simon, who also died in the shooting. He was 26. Rodolfo Ayala worked at a blood donation center, and he loved to dance. He was 33. Antonio Devon Brown was a captain in the U.S. Army Reserve and a graduate of Florida A&M. He was 29. Gerald Roman Bird was a financial aid officer who was passionate about volunteer work. He was said to always be interested in making a positive impact on people's lives. He was 29. Angel El Calendario Padro had just recently moved to Orlando and had just started his new job as an ophthalmic technician 4 days before the shooting. He was 28 years old. Juan Chavez Martinez, his co-workers at a hotel describe him as a kind and loving person. He was 25. Luis Daniel Conde was a fun-loving makeup artist who co-owned a salon with his partner Juan, who was also killed. He was 39. Corey James Connell was a student at Valencia Community College and hoped to become a firefighter. His teachers described him as their all-time favorite student. He was only 21. Tevin Eugene Crosby was a dedicated, hard-working business owner who was visiting Orlando after traveling to watch his nieces and nephews graduate. He was 25. Gianca Deidre Drayton, her family called her Didi. She was a bartender at Pulse. She was 32 years old. Simon Adrian Carrillo Fernandez was a manager at McDonald's who always brought birthday cakes for his co-workers. He was at Pulse with his partner Oscar Aracena Montero, who was also killed. He was 31. Yomari Rodriguez Sullivan was a mother of two. Her sister describes her as the most loving and caring person, saying that her smile could light up a room. She was 24. Edward Sotomayor Jr. was a brand manager at Allen Chuck Travels, an agency that caters to the LGBT community. His family says he was witty, charming, and that he always left things better than he found them. He and his top hat were well loved in the community. He was 34. Shane Evan Tomlinson was a gifted singer who performed as the frontman of the band Frequency. He was 33 years old. Martin Benitez Torres, he was a student who had just arrived in Orlando that day to visit his family. He was 33 years old. Jonathan Antonio Camuy Vega worked for a Spanish TV network as a producer. He was a member of the National Association of Hispanic Journalists, and he was just about to turn 25. Juan P. Rivera Velasquez was at Pulse with his partner Luis for a friend's birthday celebration. Both men were killed. He was 37. Luis S. Viama was a student and worked at the Harry Potter ride at Universal Studios. He was 22. Frankie Jimmy de Jesus Velasquez was a professional dancer and visual merchandiser at Forever 21. He was 50. Luis Daniel Wilson Leon. He was a shoe store manager whom his friends described as a protector, confidant, and hero. He died together with his husband, Jean Carlos. He was 37. Gerald Arthur Wright worked at Disney World, and a co-worker says he was wonderful with the guests and was always smiling. He was at Pulse celebrating a friend's birthday. He was 31. I would like to ask you all to join me in 1 minute of silence for the victims.